welcome to the Boot Hill Sports Network, and I'll take the over podcast. I got my guys with me, the CMO 6, the Wild Card, Tommy Rich. What's going on, Wild Card?
What's up, baby? What's happening?
I was right, Kenny D. What's up, Kenny D?
Another day in paradise, my brother.
Now we got the man who's pointing at his Trump hat down there in the lower right-hand corner, Mr. Doug Edwards.
Hey.
And Johnny Grissom, Big Balls. What's up, Big Balls?
Oh, you know it. Arkansas, baby.
Arkansas. Woo, he's already hitting below the belt. And we got Eddie, who is 5-1 rule. What's up, Eddie?
What's going on?
He's got the smile going on and the Nebraska shirt on, guys. Oh, we're in trouble on this one.
Yeah, we are.
What a week for college football, man. A lot of upsets that happened this past Saturday, man. The biggest win of all was the Vanderbilt Commodores over the Alabama Crimson Tide. What did you guys think about that? JB, you go first.
Man, I just couldn't believe it would even happen, to be honest with you. I mean, Nick Saban talking about playing at Vanderbilt, and it's one of the easiest places to play at, basically, is what he was saying. For Vanderbilt to come in and just do their thing and pull off the upset, man, it was amazing for college football, to be honest with you.
I think that's been the most clip played since he said it. They said they wore that out at the stadium. Kenny D, what are your thoughts on that, man?
I mean, just like the kids held that banner, shocked the world. I mean, if you can show me one person that legitimately got on FanDuel, DraftKings, or all the other sites, or went to Vegas, Tunica, Southland, and laid any money on Vandy on the money line, I'll ask him for tips for the rest of my life, because there ain't no way in the world.
Hey, I'm with you on that. I know Doug Edwards got some thoughts on this.
Oh, I loved it myself. As the first game Alabama never led in since 2019 when Joe Burrow and company went down there to Tuscaloosa and just schooled them for the whole game. That was
wow.
2019. They had led in every game they played. Just coming off of beating the big bad dog of Georgia, maybe they had a little letdown. Maybe they looked over, but Vanderbilt took that game. Vanderbilt owned that game. They outrushed them. They bullied them, really. They really bullied them in the box.
They did. Yep.
They look at the time of possession. That was a big key.
Vanderbilt's got a great defense, man. I'll tell you what, those guys, it ain't the same Vanderbilt. You're not going to go in there and just bully them like you say and just run all over them. Johnny Grissom, what are your thoughts on that one, man?
Hey, it shows you right there that anybody can win, man. Anybody can show up and win.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think
got shocked.
The transfer portal and the NIL has opened things up, man, because what's the kid's name? Vanderbilt's quarterback that transferred in from New Mexico. Pavia. Yeah. Pavia. That kid, your quarterback, man, he can scramble and
he makes people better around him too. He's type player. He makes everybody else better.
What you got, Coach Rule?
Thank God I was in Mississippi and couldn't in-game bet that game because I'd be broke. None of us saw it coming. I can't believe it. It's awesome.
No. Hey, that wasn't the only upset, though, is good old Rocky Top. Rocky Top went down. Hey, that was the last second play. I think they lost to Georgia State. But anyway, good old Rocky Top went down to those Arkansas Razorbacks. Man, what do y'all think on that one? JB?
Hey, I'm off the Tennessee bandwagon. That's all I got to say now. No, I've been saying all year.
Did you fall off or jump off?
Man, I jumped off like James Bond going over a cliff.
I know Kenny D's got a lot to say on this one. As even though he lives in Tennessee, he ain't big on them Vols, are you, Kenny D?
All I can say is I told y'all so. By the way, the greatest deal on the internet is $1.99. You can get your Nico for Heisman, Tennessee SEC title, and Tennessee national title T-shirt right here. You can get it.
Stand up so we can see it better.
Why proceed
there you go, folks. It's just empty, just like that Tennessee trophy case, right?
Just like that. No, wait a minute. No, they put a baseball trophy in there, so they're badasses. But I told you I told you, and when we talk about the playoffs, and we talk about that in a little bit, I'll go
The
further into
playoffs.
it.
The playoffs.
Playoffs.
When we talk about it, it'll
Talk
understand.
about
But
practice.
I
Practice.
told you that top tier of the SEC, weaker than dog shit.
I don't know about that. But go ahead, Doug.
Numbers don't lie.
I'm just glad that I'm glad to see they let Kenny out of the straitjacket this week. But with that kind of talk, they might need to bring that thing back. Lock him back
Hey, they
up,
let him
man.
sit closer to the camera too, Doug.
Yeah. I mean, now
Until somebody proves me wrong.
I think Tennessee got exposed a little bit, and they weren't as good as what they was cracked up to be. They do have a good defense, but that young quarterback, they got a lot of work to do there. Having trouble scoring 14 points while they're against Arkansas, that ain't gonna get it done. And they better look out this week because when we get around the wild cards, I might just talk about them a little bit. I don't know.
Well, you got big balls.
I told you, Mark. You was. Oh no! You. Oh, I told you. That's all I gotta say. I told you.
That risk pick paid off.
That's right.
That risk big. All right, Coach Rule, give us your evaluation on that game.
Shit, I'm with JB. I jumped off that damn bandwagon. I thought
Turn
they
the
were much
cartwheel.
better than they were. Yeah, that freshman or young quarterback, not freshman, but he's got holes.
All right, but that wasn't the last of the upsets. My Mizzou Tigers got their ass handed to them against the Texas A&M Aggies, guys. We couldn't stop them. And, man, Mizzou is disappointing. They do not pass the eye test, and they fell down 14 spots, which is a long way because they are the biggest mover in the poll. So that's kind of hard to believe that Alabama loses to Vanderbilt and only moves 4 spots, I believe it was. But Mizzou couldn't stop them. JB, what you got on that game?
Oh, Mizzou and Texas A&M, they didn't even have to worry about the 12th man. They had to worry about the 11th man. They couldn't handle that. So, Texas A&M they came balled out, and Mizzou was out of their league that day. That's all it was.
You know what's disappointing is Mizzou was coming off a bye week too, man. So I think they game prep for that other quarterback and just got surprised. And man, old boy came back with a vengeance for A&M, did he not, Kenny D?
Well, JB, you're a little wrong there. You're not got to worry about the 12th, but the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th, man, those kind of played a factor too. Every time Missouri had some momentum, there seemed to be a flag thrown for some mysterious reason, and I'm agreeing with Mark. If you threw a flag, you saw something. Stick by your call. You can't let a referee that's 20, 25 yards away tell you that you missed it. You threw the flag. The call is the call. You can't overturn it. Just lots of momentum plays. But Missouri did play like shit. I mean, that's irrelevant, but a lot of momentum killer. So you play the what-if game. That they might not have got beaten by 40, but definitely we're going to get beat.
Right.
Hey, let's talk about that. We have seen some very controversial calls this year that's affected a lot of games, man, like the Miami, and we'll touch on that here in a little while. But 2 weeks in a row, they've got bailed out by the officials, man, to be honest with you. And then even though Mizzou wasn't going to stop A&M, but the game could have been a lot closer. That PI that was taken away, I don't know what the hell they got. It was called a PI on the field, and then they took it away. I don't know what somebody's saying, but, either here or there now. And then they're just, like Kenny said, man, every time Mizzou had a drive, it was killed by a penalty where it was, I don't know, but it is what it is, guys. Doug Edwards, your thoughts on the Mizzou A&M game?
Well, Missouri's been struggling all year, really. I mean, you look at Boston College, it's not the great team. They got beat again this weekend, and they barely beat them. They got lucky getting out of Vanderbilt, beating them. I mean, they shanked a real makeable field goal, or they would have won that game. So they didn't need the 12th, 13th, 14th. They could have beat Missouri Saturday with 10 men, I think. So Missouri's got to get it together offensively. mainly. I mean, their defense has been okay. It's a few spots here or there, whatever, but it's been a little more consistent. Their offense just hasn't been what it was last year, and I don't know what's holding that up, but yeah, they got to get it going.
Yeah, because they got everybody back on offense, man. I don't know what the deal is either, man. Whether it's play calling or Brady Cook's shoulder is messed up again, but
there's something.
They are loaded on. Yeah, you're right, man. He's missed the deep balls. And the running game, they got 2 running backs that's picked up Schrader's load, man, and doing great. Johnny Grissom, what are your thoughts on the A&M Mizzou game?
Like I told you, it's one Tiger. He's in Baton Rouge. He's not in Mizzou.
Damn. What about Auburn?
Right, baby.
They don't even have a Tiger. We got the Tiger.
Well, I know one thing. Y'all better worry about a rebel. Y'all better worry about a rebel this weekend.
I'm not worrying about the rebel.
That lane train about to choo-choo.
You better worry about a train coming in.
Choo-choo. Choo-choo-choo-choo. Hey, as Johnny Cash would say, I hear the train a-coming. Coming around the bend. There goes Sherman. Mizzou is who we thought they were in his Dennis Green voice.
They are who we thought they were.
Ain't that right? That is so true, Sherman Manley. All right, Coach Rule, what you got?
Man, I'll tell you one guy you're missing, Schrader from last year.
Oh yeah,
he wouldn't be that big of a difference, but y'all. I thought this was y'all's breakout game. Y'all could lose 4 more that are on that schedule.
That's right. Exactly right. I said that. Yeah. We might finish the year 6-6.
Hey, Liberty Bowl.
It's a very possibility. Hey, Liberty Bowl might be all right. It's right down the road from me, so I'll be there. All right, now let's get on to talk about that top 25. 25 is SMU, followed by Michigan. Hey, there's another one that dropped 14 spots, guys. The Wolverines, the Illinois is at 23. Pittsburgh's undefeated. They're at 22. So I tell you what, that's got to be one of the surprise teams of the year as well. Followed by the Missouri Tigers and the Kansas State Wildcats, 20 through 25. Josh Brown, any thoughts?
Yeah, and the thing is with who were you just saying?
Kansas State.
No, being the surprise. Yeah, see, I done forgot about them. So that's about how long they're gonna last in the top 25. That's my only thoughts on that one.
Anybody else got any thoughts on 20 through 25?
Can we all agree on one thing? Johnny's national title picks is done.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And I think, and after they lose to Ohio State, they'll be out of the top 25. So there you go.
I just want to tell Josh, don't sleep on Pittsburgh. No, they're not a national title threat contender or anything, but they're contender in that weak ACC. They sure are a contender in that. That quarterback's good. He's a good player, and Miami doesn't scare me in that league. So, we'll see what they do the rest of the way.
Hey, I'm gonna go straight coma on Pittsburgh. I ain't worried about sleeping on them. I'm knocking myself out on it.
He said he's going coma. Dang, Josh gonna take a long nap. He gonna sleep the rest of the season. Wake him up when October's over.
hey, from his picks last week, he might ought to.
Hey, I might have my first baby face.
Hey, there's a hint. Hey, number 19 is Oklahoma. And here's another surprise team out of your conference, Josh, the Indiana Hoosiers. Hey, they not only play basketball, they play football in Indiana. Indiana coming in at number 18 at 6-0. And then Boise State with one of the best running backs in the country, number 17, the Utah Utes at 16. And there's those A&M Aggies, bud, number 15. Hey, if you look at their schedule, guys, they can make this playoff run. I'm telling you right now, they have a schedule that's very winnable.
No, they play Tigers.
There's another surprise team sitting at 14. That's the BYU Cougars. Hey, they won me some money this year a couple of times, so Hey, good for them and go Cougars.
Love
Josh
them
loves
Cougars.
some Cougars. Hey, and there's Doug and Johnny's LSU Tigers lurking around just out of that top 12 at 13. Then Notre Dame, Iowa State, and Clemson somehow just keeps coming back in that top 10 spot. All right, thoughts on that, guys? Go ahead.
I'm gonna let
Well-
Kenny deal with the LSU deal because all they're gonna be doing is sniffing crotch for the rest of the year.
Well, I'm gonna tell
Not
you
yet.
like this.
Wait till we talk the playoffs.
The coaches got us 10. Coaches know better than sports writers. So I'm going to say we're on 10 right now because that's what we are in coaches. Oh, the LSU. And talk about A&M. Sorry, they play them Tigers later this year, so there's a big L. They out the playoffs.
Well, you got Coach Rule. I know you got something to add to that.
He just needs to be more realistic about these damn Tigers.
Thank-
Hey,
But,
also,
Hey, he got a lot of money invested in that school, so you know he's got to support them, don't he?
That's right.
you talk about BYU. I wouldn't be surprised they don't win the Big 12. The Big 12's no, who Iowa State. They got to face Iowa State. Whoa, they can't win that one at all. They got a real experienced team. Don't be surprised if they don't get the automatic bid out of that Big 12 conference.
And they
hey,
get
and
a
on
top
that,
4 seed.
They got the win over SMU in conference. That's SMU's only loss.
Yeah, SMU got offense, man.
Go ahead, Johnny Big Balls. I know you dying to say something. I can see it in your face.
He just gonna say, "I told you so."
LSU's not going to make the playoffs this year. I mean, Doug's just got to face it, man. They're not going to do it this year. They're not going to do it.
We'll see.
Man.
Hey, that's right. We will see. And
We'll
speaking of LSU, their opponent, Ole Miss, is the number 9. Tennessee falls to number 8 there, 4-1. Alabama at 7. They fell down 6 spots, guys, after losing to a non-ranked Vanderbilt Commodore team. Hey, Miami, who somehow just keeps hanging on. You talking about by a branch, by a limb, by a twig. Miami keeps doing it, man. And they even moved up 2 spots to number 6. Georgia Bulldogs coming in at number 5 at 4-1. Josh's Penn State Nittany Lions move into the top 4 at 6-0, no, 5-0, excuse me. And then Oregon at 3 at 5-0. The Ohio State Buckeyes at 5-0. And then those Texas Longhorns at number 1. What we got, guys? Anything?
I can tell you right now, I don't like the idea of Penn State being in the top 5 because every single time they get put into the top 5, they run into a buzzsaw the following week and they end up dropping out of the top 10. And they go to Los Angeles this weekend and they play USC. USC lost last week. It's setting Penn State up for failure. I'm just going to be a realist and tell you.
They'll beat SC.
JB, I must
We
sound
got-
like an SEC guy here. Big Ten owns the top 5.
Yes, they do. They're on the top. Hey, Big Ten owns the top 25.
Hey, guess what though?
Yeah.
It'll be shook up because 2 and 3 play each other. So one of them's gonna drop.
If it's Ohio State, they're only going to drop 1 spot.
That's right.
This is true.
They're going to switch spots.
It's the Ohio State.
The Ohio State.
Ewers is back for Texas just in time for the big Red River rivalry, and I think we talked about that game later, but I think Texas.
Hey,
will
which
hold
is
number 1.
which is a first time SEC matchup. It's not a Big 12 no more.
That's right.
It's not a Southwestern Conference game no more. It is a SEC matchup. All right, now let's talk about the scoring, Dougie. What you got? Let's talk about last week's scoring, and then who is the big dog in the house?
We got week 6. The big dog is the big ball, Johnny Grissom. He had 10 points. He led the week.
What? How'd that happen?
Wait a minute. Before you go further, 10 points was a crybaby last week. And now 10 points is the leader this week?
Yeah, we had a bad
Hey, that
week,
that
10
goes to
points.
show you. Hey, a lot of upsets last weekend, man.
How about it? Go ahead, Dougie.
Week before last was a lot of easy games to pick, and we all did real good on them. But yeah, Johnny led the week with 10, and nobody even had 9 to come close to him. The next
Wow.
two were Mark Manley and myself. We both had 8. Then we had Eddie Derrick there with 7, and we had the 2 crybaby faces. We got 2 crybaby faces this week with Kenny and with Josh. The two-
Look,
Hey,
they're
give
right
it-
there by each other.
That's
Hey, y'all
it.
give each other a kiss. Woo! Kenny's in the
Man,
bathroom now, taking a
Make sure you
shit.
wash your
Hey.
hands.
Ken's in there manscaping right now.
Hey, Manscaped needs to be a sponsor now.
That's right. Oh, happy nuts.
So
Matter of
Happy
fact-
nuts.
with those
Happy nuts.
with this week added to all the other weeks, we have a new leader all by himself, and that is Coach Rule there. He has 50
Yeah.
points. Kenny slid to number 2 just barely with 53 points.
Hey, what did,
I'm the
hey.
Ohio State. I am the Ohio State of our group. I'm gonna move down one spot.
What did Coach Rule have?
Coach Rule has 54 on the year.
And Kenny's got 53.
53. And Mr. Consistent moved right there in the 3rd place with 52.
You mispronounced
I got-
mediocre.
I got to be right there with you.
Mr. Consistent, I just hanging around waiting until I'm going to take over.
Mispronounced
He's like the
mediocre.
Hey, look, he's like the Miami Hurricanes, just hanging around.
Hey, that's right. And in 4th place, only 4 behind the leader, is our host there, Mr. Mark Manley. He's got 50. We got Johnny Grissom opened up a little bit bigger lead there on Josh. He's got 49. We got Josh pulling up the caboose with 45.
All right. I got some room to make.
Hey, Josh, take over for a second. I'll be right back.
All right.
We got to go to the bathroom too.
Yeah, he got manscaped now.
But yeah, 45.
His old lady must be mad at him. Can't make some a drink. Oh, little shit.
45 is the low score. 54 is the high. So there's only 9 points separating last and first.
And now with this week introducing the wild card, that's going to change some things a lot.
That can add up some points right there quick.
Oh Lord.
Yeah, you see, Johnny already knows.
I
That's
was
what-
between 2 games on mine, and I got a feeling JB picked the same one.
I don't know, bro.
Last year was in darn wild cards.
Now you watch and see. I'm going to suck on wild cards this year.
Well, we hope so.
Last year I hit almost every wild card.
That's
Yeah.
very true.
He tore us up. I started just betting on his wild card, whatever he said, over, under, and the winner. So I just started that.
That's an absolute fact. I know. Mark used to text me during the week and say, "Hey, I ain't gonna say nothing to nobody, but what's your wild card this week?" So he could bet on it early.
Right.
How about it, Mark?
Where we at?
I was just saying we were talking about the wild cards, and I said you used to text me last year because I hit my wild card so much, and you say, "Hey, ain't gonna say nothing. Tell me what your wild card is so I can put it in early."
There you go. That's right. Have y'all done the first pick yet?
No, we're waiting on you.
Okay. All right, man. So let's get on with the picks. Coastal Carolina coming in at 4-1, taking on the James Madison Dukes. I think this is going to be a high-scoring affair, guys. Over and under is 58.5. James Madison favored by -10. I tell you what, they disappointed me last week, though. I think we talked about taking the over on James Madison. I did. Man, they bit me in the ass, along with other bets too. But I'm definitely going to take JMU to win this one. Give me I want to lay the 10 and give me the over 58.5. I look for him to bounce back.
9.5, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
9.5.
I'm with Mark on this one. I think it'll be a bounce back game. I'm gonna take JMU. I'll take JMU and give the 9.5, and I'll take the over as well.
My turn, huh? I'm gonna go with the Carolina plus 9.5. I'm gonna go with the under.
Man, I'm gonna ride with Mark and Kenny. Give me JMU to bounce back big at home and the over.
Yeah, I think JMU's going to cover this week. I think that will happen, but I'm going to take the under and just try to pick me up a point somewhere.
Well, look here, fellas. It's like this. JMU did me wrong. I bet the over last week. They've been scoring 50, 60, 70 points a game.
Right.
All they needed was, I had hit 3 picks on a 4-leg parlay. I had already hit my 3. Navy, Florida, Pittsburgh over Carolina. And all I needed was, I didn't care who won. Just go over 48 points. They lose 21-19. They only score 40 points together. So I lose. I could have won $297 right there. So I'm mad at James Madison. And I'm not picking him. I'm going with Johnny. I think he's on to something. I'm going with Coastal Carolina to stay within the spread. I don't know they'll win outright. And I think the game will stay under. They couldn't score but 19 points last week. We're going with Coastal and the under.
Oh.
Wow.
Interesting. Both of those teams are known for high-scoring games. Hey, now we move on to number 16. The Utah Utes are 4-1, taking on the Arizona State Sun Devils. Utah favored by 3. The over and under is 45.5. Matchup predictor has this one. Utah by 51.2. Arizona 48.8. So it's going to be close, guys. I tell you, I don't know which Utah team's going to show up, man. They've been iffy here lately. This game is at Arizona. I'm calling for the upset. Sun Devils plus the 3, and I'm going to stay under 45.5. Barely at 44.
I watched Arizona State play last week. That's a very impressive football team with a true freshman quarterback. They look good. Granted, they play nobody as well, but they don't have the third. Is the 13th year senior Cam Rising playing?
I don't know if he's playing or not, man. You can't never tell about him. He's probably trying to get another year eligibility, so he probably won't play.
Not doubtful, but I'm with Mark. I'm gonna take Arizona State, but I'm gonna take the over. Arizona State just airs it out, puts points up on the board. Utah will score, but I think Arizona State wins. I think Arizona State might win outright, to be honest with you. But I'll take the 3 free points.
No. No. I'm gonna go with Utah -3, and I'm gonna go over on this one.
Of course you are.
I went under on the first one. I'm done.
I'm gonna ride with Johnny on the Utah -3. They still have an outside shot at the playoffs, but I'm gonna take the under.
I'm actually going to agree with Johnny completely. I'm going to take Utah to cover, and I'm going to take the over. I think the one Utah team we think of will show up.
I tell you what I've seen in this from last year and so far this year. I've seen growth. I've seen real growth in Hurricane Big Ball Johnny Grissom there. I've seen a lot of growth in his stick, and I've seen him taking things in. Y'all say he's quiet. He's taking things in. He's soaking up knowledge, man, and he's starting to use it. He's starting to use it right and in a good way. He's got something here. He's only wrong on one thing. Utah is going to take this game, but it's going to stay under. He's going to barely stay under. He's going to barely miss that one. But you on to something there, Johnny. I got Utah in the under.
Dang, big ball Christmas on to something, man. Woo, man. All right,
Maybe
next
own
one.
something.
Because I haven't been betting this year.
But you've been secluded in the house with the freaking hurricane keeping you in, so you've been doing your research.
No. Right now, I'm jobless right now. Shit.
Johnny done
That's what I want.
became the Lee Corso of the I'll Take the Over podcast.
All right, so we'll move on. South Carolina Gamecocks coming at 3-2, 1-2 in the conference, taking on those Alabama Crimson Tides who come in at number 7 in the nation, 4-1, 1-1 in the conference. Matchup predictor shows a whopping 9.1% for those South Carolina Gamecocks. Man, I tell you what, after Vanderbilt upset Alabama, I would hate to play Alabama on the next game out. So I'm definitely taking Alabama and the over on this one. Roll Tide. I think that's what they're going to do, guys. They're going to show no mercy rest of the year on anybody.
Yeah, I'm with Mark on this one. I just don't see Alabama taking another one. I don't think they'll overlook another opponent the rest of the year. I think they cover the over/under by themselves, to be honest with you. So I'll take Alabama and give the points in the over.
No. Alabama's gonna win, but they ain't gonna cover. I'm gonna take South Carolina, the plus 22.5, and I think it's gonna be some scoring in this game. It's gonna be over.
Doug, I think you were right about something. Johnny's on it tonight. I'm same pick. If it was 21, I would have taken Bama. I don't think it's anymore. So South Carolina and the points and the over.
Wow. my only question is that hurricane gonna be in the area? It won't be because it's in Bama. So never mind. Bama's gonna cover. Bama's gonna whoop that ass, and Bama's gonna go over by themselves. Period.
Hey, explanation point. Made in the heartland.
Well, Johnny fell off the rails on this.
Uh-oh, Johnny, you're off the rail, baby.
I brag on him, and then he comes out with something like that. South Carolina's couldn't score but 3 points. With this Robbie Ashford, now if that young freshman quarterback was going to be in there, I'm saying that they'll hang within the 22.5. But with this Ashford kid that come from Auburn or something, wasn't no good there.
Yeah,
they can't
Auburn.
score with him. That's why we beat them. We probably would have lost that game had that kid not got hurt in our game at halftime. And then Ashford played the second half. You know, they were up by 17 points or whatever. But they just can't score with him. And Alabama will score, and Alabama will cover. I think they'll beat them by 24-27, somewhere like that. South Carolina, they got 3 on Ole Miss. Come on, at home. They just can't score here. But I'm going to take the over. I think it's going to be real close. I could see it 45-3, 45-10 maybe, you know. So it's going to be real touch and go there. I'm going to take Alabama over.
Right on, man. Is that your wrist pick, Dougie, or your master lock?
That's neither one of them. But
Neither one of those. All right, let's move on. Number 4, Penn State Nittany Lions, undefeated at 5-0. 2-0 in that Big Ten Conference, taking on the mighty USC Trojans. USC has fallen to 3-2, 1-2 in the conference. Penn State favored by 4. Over under is 48.5. I'll tell you what, matchup predictor actually shows USC 51.8, guys, and the Nittany Lions at 48.2. Wow. I don't know about that, man. USC's last 5. They lost to the Golden Gophers 24-17. They beat Wisconsin. They lost to Michigan, beat Utah State, and they beat Doug's
We don't want
LSU
to-
Tigers
We don't want to talk about that.
to open up the year. And then Penn State beat UCLA, beat Illinois, beat Kent State, beat Bowling Green, and beat West Virginia, the country roads. With all that being said, give me the Nittany Lions minus the 4, and let's stay under a 48.5.
In my best Doug Edwards voice, Vegas, you got the wrong team favorite.
Ooh.
JB, I'm sorry. It is what it is. They didn't look very impressive against a very, very, very mediocre UCLA team last week. In my opinion, Penn State's played nobody but Illinois. They won by 14. USC's battle tested. They did play LSU. They played on the road at Michigan. It's in Los Angeles. I agree also with what you said. Franklin just finds a way to fuck it up. You're in the top 5. He's going to find a way. Man, give me the 4, and I'm taking the over.
Shit. I agree with Mark this time. Penn State -4. I'm going to go under on that one. -2 points for me, I guess, on this one.
Because you're agreeing with Mark?
Yeah.
JB, I know you hate on your coach, but damn, why do they give Lincoln Riley so much credit? That dude
How
is
about it?
probably the most overrated coach. He hasn't won
Hey,
shit
Coach Rule.
with his own people.
Coach Rule, he is Lane Kiffin 2.0.
Hey, did they buy him like $150 million home or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gave him a
Gave him
jet,
the whole-
everything.
He's got his
Yeah.
own zip code.
Yeah.
His own zip code.
So I'm gonna ride Penn State minus the 4 and give me the over.
Over.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, like I said earlier, Penn State, every time they get moved up into the top 5, they always get primed for an upset, and they come along somebody that's like USC coming up here. I agree with Kenny that Penn State hasn't played anybody this year. I absolutely agree with that. But the one things I do know is this Penn State team this year hasn't shown any signs of panic, even when they are playing like shit. They do figure it out, and they do get things back together. The other thing is also, I can tell you, when you look at that stadium on Saturday, Penn State fans travel. They will pack more than half of that stadium. There will probably be more Penn State fans at that game than there will be USC fans. And with that being said, I'm still riding with my Nittany Lions, and I think they're going to win, and I'm taking the over on this sumbitch. We are Penn State.
We are Penn State.
Well,
You forgot overrated.
Hey, as long as they give me a dub.
I hate to do this, but I really don't hate to do it. Kenny, you're gonna be Gilligan on this one, man. You're gonna be this your risk pick, I guess. You're gonna be
It's
out
a
there
fact,
in that
baby.
island
Lock
by
it. Bet it.
yourself. Way out there, hurricane done blew him out there in the Atlantic Ocean somewhere on an island. We don't know where he's at. But
He's out there with Norvell.
Penn State's going out here, Memorial Coliseum, man. They want to win this game. They're going out there. They're going to be fired up. USC just lost to Roll Your Boat. Come on. They lost to Roll Your Boat. It's USC.
lost to, by the way.
USC is overrated, been overrated. Penn State's going to hang in that top 5 a little bit longer. They're going to win this game, and the score will go over.
Master Lock.
Nope.
No, still ain't the Master Lock pick of the week. All right, let's move on. Now we move on to the Arizona Wildcats, who are 3-2, 1-1 in the conference, taking on that surprise team, the BYU Cougars, at number 14 in the nation. They come in at 5-0, 2-0 in the conference. Over and under is 50.5. BYU favored by 3.5. Matchup predictor shows Arizona at 32.3, BYU at 67.7. Guys, BYU is having a heck of a year. They beat Baylor 34-28. They beat K-State 38-9. Beat Wyoming 34-14. They beat SMU that Coach Rule was talking about 18-15 in a nail biter. and then they beat SIU 41-13. Arizona's been some kind iffy. Don't know which team's going to show up. They lost to Texas Tech. They beat Utah, and then they lost to Kansas State big 31-7. Then they beat NAU, and then they beat New Mexico in a high-scoring affair, 61-39. Guys, I'm going to ride with the Cougars until they let me down. They have not let me down, so lay the 3.5, and I'm actually going to take the over. I like BYU a lot, and I think they're going to win that Big 12 and going to make the college football playoffs.
It's lock of the week. Lock of the week.
Oh, yeah, Master Lock it, baby.
Master lock it.
Well, since I used Doug's line, now I'm gonna use JB's line. Love some Cougars. We're gonna take BYU. We're gonna give the 3.5, and we're gonna take the over.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to spank it like we do a Cougar, right?
Like they like it.
Hey, just make it like y'all say. BYU minus 3.5, and take the over.
Yeah, they got a hell of a home field advantage. I don't see many field goals, so I think they're going to win by at least 7. BYU and the over.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
I'd rather bet the over-under on punts.
Yeah, there ain't really much to add here. I love me some Cougars. I'm sticking with BYU. I let my Cougars down a few weeks ago, and I ain't turning back on them right now. So, yeah, give me BYU to cover it up and give me the over.
It looks like BYU is experienced, man. They got good experience, old team. Looks like we got a community lock because we all taking BYU and we're all taking the over. So let's go Cougars.
Wow, has that ever happened? The same pick and all take the over?
Maybe once.
Maybe once.
I think in week 1.
Week 1. There you go. Man. All right, man. Josh, it's time for our sponsors of the week. JB, what we got this week? And we thank those sponsors out there, by the way.
Oh, absolutely. We love those sponsors. So we got 4 going on tonight. Tonight we're going to come up with a new slogan for Coffee Mate Creamer. Coffee Mate, we help you pretend that you like coffee. Coors Light. Coors Light beer. Our mountains turn blue just so fools like you don't know what a cold beer tastes like. KY jelly for the disabled people. When you about to handy clap them cheeks, grab some of this slicky stuff. And finally, when you got those bat wings on your dangaling and your nuts are sticking to your leg and it sounds like Velcro when you take your drawers off, grab yourself some Happy Nuts comfort cream.
Wow.
Happy Nuts helps you walk like a man and your balls smell fresh too.
Ain't nothing like a happy nut, is there, JB?
No, sir. And half the proceeds go to men's prostate cancer.
There you go. Hey, that's a good call there.
Good call.
And we got one more. What we got, Dougie?
We got Edwards Freight Service, 573-922-0002. You call and I'll haul, man. Don't go to Memphis. I'll get shot down. Somebody got shot today. Matter of fact.
Then call you.
Don't forget my pickup tomorrow.
Got you. Wrestling ring.
Wrestling ring. All right. Hey, we got Manly's Meat Wagon, where nobody beats our meat but us, baby. All right. Thanks to those fine sponsors out there. We appreciate you on I'll Take the Over podcast. College Pick'em game. All right. Now we're going to move on to the team that made the biggest upset of the week. Those Vanderbilt Commodores, baby. VU are 3-2, 1-1 in a tough SEC. They're going to take on those Wildcats at 3-2, 1-2 out of Kentucky, guys. Vanderbilt, after beating Alabama, is still a underdog and a big one at that. 13 and a half. I don't get this one. The over and under is 45 and a half. Matchup predictor has Vanderbilt at 31.9 and those Wildcats out of Kentucky at 68.1, guys. We talked about that quarterback from Vanderbilt, Pavia. He has 973 yards on the year, 8 touchdowns, and then, of course, Vandergriff out of Kentucky. He only has 4 touchdowns on the year and 2 INTs, 793 yards. So Pavia is also the leading rusher for the Vanderbilt Commodores. That kid can scramble, man. I don't know if y'all seen that story on him. He went to New Mexico, and then they's like, no, they didn't. Then they took the scholarship away eventually, so he went somewhere else, and then New Mexico called him back and gave him the scholarship back. So it's an interesting story, man. And I just don't see. I'm very impressed with Vanderbilt. I mean, I was there at the game that they played Mizzou. And, of course, Mizzou's team's still yet to show up this football season. But, man, you're going to give me Vanderbilt after they beat Alabama, and you're going to give me 13 and a half points. I'm going to take Vanderbilt, 13 and a half, and I'm going to stick with the under because Vanderbilt's defense is pretty stout.
Yeah, I'm with Mark. Kentucky just doesn't have anything. Vandy's playing some good football. That Pavia kid, I think 800 of his 900 yards were last week against Alabama. So I'm gonna take Vandy the points, and I'm gonna take the under as well. Vandy's defense, Kentucky has no offense.
I agree some of it. I'm gonna take Vandy, the 13 plus and a half, and I'm gonna go with the over.
I know it was coming, didn't we, Josh?
Yeah, we did.
Like a roller coaster, baby.
Hey.
Man, I think those damn nerds in Vandy partied hard this week, tried drugs they've never had. They're going to be hungover.
Try some mushrooms, Eddie.
Kentucky's going to hit them with that D at home. I'm going to take Kentucky to cover and the under.
Ooh. Well, speaking of D at home, my buddy last week asked me after Vandy beat Bama, he said, how many of these girls do you think that quarterback from Vandy is going to fuck? And my answer was all of them.
All of them.
Just
That
like he
dude-
did that Alabama defense, right?
Yeah, he done spent his nut last weekend. So, with that being said, I think that Vandy is going to stay close. I don't think Kentucky's going to cover. I think they are going to win. But I'm going to take the over also.
You're going to take the over?
I want the over and give me Vandy with the points, please.
I got you. I lost connection for a second. Split second there.
Oh, Cooter Wi-Fi.
Write it down, asterisk. Give me the asterisk there.
That's Hurricane
We're going to have to
Milton,
talk
man.
about this next week, ain't we?
Yeah.
Hurricane Milton. This is a major trap game here. Like you said, this is a hangover game coming off of that huge win, man. They carrying the goalpost through the streets 3 miles or so, throw it in the river. This is where you ask yourself, because the line looks funny. I mean, it really does. What does Vegas know that we don't know?
Mm-hmm.
They're not usually way off on these things.
Well, it was last week on a bunch of games.
It's playing at Kentucky. I don't know, but I'm gonna go on and say that Vandy and this quarterback comes out there and he's gonna keep them close enough. I think Kentucky will win, but I think they'll win by maybe 10, 7-10. And I think it's gonna be an under game. It's gonna be both these teams like to control possession, and so I can see it going under. But I'm gonna take Vandy. I'm gonna take 13.5 points. I'm leaving you out there, Eddie. Sorry.
Yeah, he's out there on Gilligan's Island.
That's his risk pick.
That's his risk pick.
Damn.
Oh, Coach. Hey,
I don't know. Eddie
It's
might
Coach
be
Rule.
right.
He can
I'm
do
gonna
that.
think with Kentucky.
There's a reason I'm alone at the top, fellas.
He's got that big Dick Vitale bald knowledge going on right there.
Even after
Ain't that right,
a
Eddie?
score week, he's on top.
That's right.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Number 18, Kansas State 4-1, 1-1 in the Big 12, taking on Neon Dion's Colorado Buffaloes. Colorado actually 4-1, 2-0 in the conference, guys. K-State favored by 3.5. Colorado over and under is 49.5. Matchup predictor is pretty close. Kansas State at 52.2. Buffaloes at 47.8. Of course, Buffalo's passing led by Shedeur Sanders. He has over 1,630 yards, guys, 14 touchdowns and only 3 picks. But on the other side, they got that Avery Johnson kid. He's just as good. He has 879 yards, 9 touchdowns, and 4 INTs, but he can also run the ball. But I tell you what, receiving wise, and Colorado's got two sides of the ball athlete that's starting. Travis Hunter, he's got 46 receptions, 561 yards, and 6 touchdowns, who I think ought to be in the Heisman talk, but I have yet to hear that. Anytime you play both ways, man, and do what he does, I don't think it's been done since the kid out of Michigan. What was his name?
Charles Woodson.
Played both ways. Anyway, Colorado's last 5, they beat UCF 48-21, beat Baylor 38-31 in overtime, beat Colorado State 28-9. They lost to Coach Rule, Nebraska 28-10. They beat a good North Dakota State team that always wins at Division I AA. I guess it's FBS now, 31-26. Kansas State, that team is iffy. They beat Oklahoma State 42-20 and then got blowed out by BYU 38-9. They beat Arizona, they beat Tulane, they beat UTM. Man, with all that being said, I'm going to take Neon Dion because they're coming, baby. They are coming. They've been coming a long time, but they're going to step up this week. Colorado gets the win. Give me my 3.5, and I'm going to take the over of 49.5.
I don't think I need to say anything.
That's right, baby.
I'm with you, Marky. Give me Colorado on the points and the over. Shedeur's going to chuck it. Travis Hunter's going to be all over the place. Colorado still has no defense. They can't stop oxygen. So K-State will score. But Shedeur Sanders is too much. Travis Hunter's way too much. Colorado wins.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Sherman Manley says a statement win for Dion this week. I do believe that, man.
Prime time, baby. Dougie, wake up. Prime time. I know you're not going to go with them. I'm going to go with them. I'm going to go with Colorado plus 3.5. I'm going to go over.
Johnny's on to something.
Johnny is on to something. He's been on something all this year, guys.
Johnny fell off or something. What he did.
Let's be real. Johnny's in last place minus the 1 week. Hey, but Mark, on Travis Hunter in Vegas right now, he's got the second best odds to win Heisman.
I've heard a lot of talk
number
about.
one at plus 225. He's at plus 300, and then you got Ward at 400. So
Hey, after Nico's performance, he should be number 1. I know they was hyping, and that's what makes me angry, man. You watch all the shows, and they ain't said nothing about him on those shows, man. All the pregame shows, all they've been talking about Nico this, Nico that. But Travis Hunter, man, that dude's a stud.
I've heard talk about him on the radio from people that have votes, that have Heisman votes. So he's getting a lot of love right now.
Mm-hmm.
He deserves it, every bit of it.
But to channel my inner Lee Corso on you three, not so fast. That beautiful hair on that quarterback at K-State, they're going to go in Colorado, whoop their ass, and it's going to
Woo! Wow. Just going to whoop their ass?
I don't think.
Can I get a number on whoop their ass?
Hey, did you not watch the
10 plus? It'll be double digits.
Did you not watch the BYU Kansas State game?
I did. That was ugly.
That-
Everybody
that-
laid his leg, right?
That was BYU, not Colorado, and that was Provo, Utah.
Go ahead, Dougie. It's your pick.
No,
Oh,
God.
wait, no.
Oh, it's wild card Tommy Rich.
That's right. That's right. It's going to be like Sherm said, a statement game for Dion. It's going to be a statement game for freaking Travis. That's what's going to happen. He's going to light it up. He's going to have a couple 100 yards receiving himself. Watch and see. Maybe 3 touchdowns. Give me Colorado to upset and give me the over.
No
Ride that Buffalo, baby.
Well, I get to pick up some points here because Coach Rule there is exactly right. This game's not going to be real close. It's going to Kansas State's going to lead this game for most of it, if not all of it, but the early portions. And there
Ooh,
won't
boy.
be a doubt who's going to win it by the time the game's over. Kansas
What
State
time's this
covering
game?
3.5 easy,
4 o'clock,
and the
Mark.
score will go over. K-State.
Oh, it's the 9:15 game. I can't wait to just wear you out by 9:30, Doug Edwards.
We'll be waiting.
Come on, I'll be in Florida by then. I'll be on Cocoa
No,
Beach by then.
No, because that Cocoa Beach will be gone bye-bye after Milton gets done with it.
Nah, it's down to a 2 now. Cat 2 now.
Just like Travis Hunter gets done with your other team there. All right, here we go. One of the biggest games of the weekend. 2 top 15 matchups. We got number 9 Ole Miss Rebels at 5-1, 1-1 in the conference, taking on the number 13 team in the nation, those LSU Tigers, who are 4-1, 1-0 in the conference. Ole Miss favored by 3.5. LSU with the over and under is 64.5. Matchup predictor shows the Rebels at 67.7. LSU at 32.3. This is a night game in Baton Rouge, I do believe, and there is nothing like a night game in Baton Rouge. It'll make you fall in the mud puddle, won't it, Johnny Grissom?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Make you have a lot of fun, that's for sure. Now, LSU, led by Nussmeier, is that how you say it, guys?
The Nuss Bus, yes, sir.
Yeah. He has 138 of 198, 1,652 yards. He has 15 touchdowns and 4 INTs. And then, of course, Jackson Dart on the other side has been in that Heisman talk before that loss. 127 of 173, 2,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, and only 2 INTs. LSU's last 5 beat USA 42-10, and that is not USA Electric team. That is South Alabama, guys. UCLA, they beat them 34-17. They beat South Carolina 36-33. Beat Nichols 44-21, and they opened up the year with a loss to very underrated USC team 27-20. Now the Rebels, man, they have looked good until UK come rolling around. They lost UK 2017. They beat South Carolina. They beat Georgia Southern. Georgia Southern. They beat Wake, and they beat Middle Tennessee State. I think the Wayne train is coming, as Johnny Cash would say. I hear the train coming. They're going to get it going again. Give me the Rebels. And I'm going to take the under at 64.5.
This game absolutely kills my soul.
I didn't know you had a soul, Kenny.
Well, I sold it, but I got it back when I moved out here.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Ole Miss is one of those many overrated teams. Jackson Dart's got 2,100 yards, but he got 2,000 of them in the first 3 games. Dougie, I'm gonna steal your line again. Vegas, you got the wrong team favored. You're gonna let a bunch of drunk Cajuns get marinated all day and then come at 7:30 at night? No, sir. The lane train is checked out. It's headed to Gainesville. Jackson Dart don't give a shit. He's worried about his NFL career. Really not a contest. So I'll gladly take your 3.5, but I'm gonna take the over because both teams are just gonna straight fling it down the field.
Well, like Mark say, I've been to those night games. Hey, it's hard to beat LSU at those night games. But this year, I think Ole Miss is going to pull one out. I get Ole Miss 3.5, and I think it's going to go under.
Yeah.
Man, what was it last year? They scored like 120 some points combined, didn't they? I know
Yeah,
it
we
was
should've won.
crazy.
We should have won that game.
But
It was a
You
basketball.
remember when these two teams are the ones that went 7 overtimes, right?
Long time ago.
Yeah, for sure.
They got the rules changed. Got the
Mhm.
overtime
Yeah.
rules changed.
sure did.
Right, yeah. Them officials are ready to get the hell out of there.
And one thing Doug hasn't failed to remind us every week, they're hanging around 13, 14, climbing into the playoffs. That climb
Just
gets
like-
worse.
just
every
like Clemson.
week. You're going to fall and have to try to climb back with 2 losses. Ole Miss,
It ain't happening.
-3.5 and give me the over.
Bye-bye playoffs.
Bye.
Hey, how
Baby,
they
bye.
how they say that one time? How's it go? Oh, eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Lane about to catch a tiger by his toe. Hotty toddy, gashamati. Who the hell are we? Gonna beat the hell out of LSU. That's what we do. Give me Ole Miss to cover this bad boy. Give me the over. And that's it.
Let me tell,
Mic drop.
Look.
let me tell y'all something.
Oh, here we go.
He's pissed. He's pissed
LSU
off,
went-
y'all.
LSU went from DBU to QBU. We're now quarterback university. We used to be defensive back. I wish we still had some of them defensive backs because we ruined the championship year last year with Jaden Daniels by not having a defense. Our defense has steady gotten better this year. Quarterback play is going to be there. They're bringing in. This will be the first game, something new at Tiger Stadium that's never been done before. They're giving away LED bracelets. They're going to be synced to go with the new lights in Tiger Stadium, to go with Colin Baton Rouge. They're going to light up all over the stadium. The Cajuns are going to be wild. They're going to be rowdy. You don't come down there and just walk all over somebody. They got the wrong team favored. You give me the home dog, LSU Tigers, our big offensive line. Kentucky showed what you do to Ole Miss. You bully them. They're a finesse team. You get rough with them. Our big offensive line, number 66, Will Campbell, there's talk like he might be the first overall pick in the whole draft. Might not be a quarterback. It might be an offensive lineman from LSU. That offensive line is starting to dominate. Cade Durham, the little freshman running back, he's starting to be dependable for 90, 100 yards a game. LSU is going to win this game, and they're going to win it by about 10 points. LSU,
Coach.
But it's going to stay on.
Show that again, Josh. Josh, show that again, buddy.
Kenny, we got these points.
Well, trust me, I knew when I made this pick I was not going to be on an island, so I'm good with it.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. You knew that when Doug was. Johnny's the one in reality this year. He lives down there right outside of
I
Baton Rouge.
don't know what he's watching, but when I'm watching on TV, I don't see what he's talking about. I mean,
Well, you know, Johnny, when he watches those games, he's got a lot of drink in him. You know what I'm saying? We found that out in week 1, didn't we, Johnny?
Yeah, I got my feelings hurt that week.
He wears those rose-colored glasses too.
Hey, let me just tell you this. Johnny's got 49 points on the year. He's barely ahead of the guy that gave you the weekend start.
Hey, I got big balls. I picked Arkansas.
Hat drop.
Oh,
Hat drop.
hat drop. He said a hat drop.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's
man.
move on. And what a matchup. The Red River Rivalry has become a SEC game. The Texas Longhorns, the number one team in the nation. I bet old Steve Brown is smiling out there in Texas, don't you, JB?
Oh, ain't no doubt about it.
A 5-0, 1-0 in the conference, taking on the number 18 team, the Oklahoma Sooners, who are 4-1, 1-1 in the conference. Guys, I don't care what Oklahoma's record says. They don't pass the eye test for me. I mean, they beat Auburn 27-21. Auburn's a team that's struggling all year. And then they lost to Tennessee 25-15. And then they beat teams like Tulane, Houston, who's having a down year. And they beat Houston by 4, guys, 16-12. And then they beat Temple. Now, Texas has put an ass whooping on everybody they've seen. They beat Mississippi State 35-13. They beat ULM 51-3. They beat University of Texas San Antonio 56-7. They beat Michigan 31-12, and they beat Colorado State 52-0, guys. It don't matter where yours is quarterback or Manning's quarterback. It don't matter about these Texas Longhorn guys. I honestly believe they are the true number one team in the nation. With that being said, I'm going to lay those 14, and I'm taking the over. Hook 'em horns.
It's 14 and a hook.
Yep, that hook will probably get me, but
That hook's what I'm worried about. Go ahead.
yeah.
Hey, Mark, about 3 or 4 weeks ago, who told you who the real number one team in the country was?
Yeah, you've been saying it all year.
I did too, just so we know.
And they're playing another mediocre, subpar SEC team. And you're absolutely right. It don't matter who's at quarterback. I mean, they can bring Major Applewhite back if they want to. Give me Texas. I'll
Vince
put the
Young.
points. Yeah, I mean, if he doesn't want to kill himself, give me Texas. I'll give the 14.5, and I think Texas goes over by themselves.
Yeah.
Oh Lord, I know I'm gonna be by myself on this one. Hey, but I know where that boat is. I hid that boat last time. I know how to get back. I'm gonna take Oklahoma plus 14.5. I'm gonna go with the under.
Yeah, you're on
Wow.
the You're on the
man.
island. I promise you.
I-
You're on the island.
Hey,
Boy,
hey,
he must have just took a shot of Miller Lite or something on this big.
Got one of these power drinks.
That Coors Light Mountain just ain't blue no more.
Hey,
Mm.
somebody picked
That thing's
Arkansas
silver as a
last
can.
week. I did.
Man, I hate that half a point. But they do got Ewers back. He's
No,
going
they
to
don't.
shut any talk down about Manning taking
Yeah, he's
over.
playing, Kenny.
Oh,
he's
they
back.
okay. Then this morning when I looked before I did this, ESPN didn't say that he was playing.
He's
Yeah, I know
The
that.
5 o'clock, yeah.
Yeah, they put him in.
So
But
you
it don't
know
matter.
he's not just doing it. I'm going to take Texas minus 14.5. Give me that over.
Hey, look, way I see it, you can have Ewers, you can have Manning, you can have Major Applewhite, you can have Vince Young. It don't matter who you want to bring in there. Texas is the number one team in the country right now, period. And there's no case for it. Matter of fact, they shouldn't even been taken out of number one last week when they put Alabama in there. So now what they're going to do this week is they're going to make a statement and say, this is why we don't drop out of the number one spot. So they're going to whoop Oklahoma's ass. They're going to cover, and this is going to go over. And I agree with Kenny. I think Texas is either going to go over themselves or come close to it.
Hold up. There's one y'all keep forgetting, man, and that's Colt McCoy. Come on, you
Colt
can't
McCoy.
forget about old Colt.
Yep.
Is that the guy that ran into his own player's ass in the national title game and had to leave?
Hey,
He got hurt.
I'll never forget that.
Either.
But you can't forget Colt McCoy, man. But speaking of Major Applewhite, he may want to come back because he's not doing too good down there coaching UAB. He's getting his butt kicked a lot. He likes to run the scores up and stuff like that. He's getting it done to him. But hang on a minute. That hook, yours is back. He's going to be back, and they're good with either one, but it's going to throw a little bit off. Oklahoma's got a pretty good defense. They can't score much, but they do have a pretty good defense. This is the Red River shootout. Let's use the old term, shootout. It's going to be a shootout, but it ain't going to be a high scoring. It's going under. And I'm going to take Oklahoma. I'm not going to leave Johnny. Johnny's got a boat out there, so we all right. We ain't on no island. We just
That motherfucker got a hole in
the
it.
island in our boat.
He probably got a boat with no paddle.
Give me Oklahoma and give me the under.
Y'all gonna be out there floating next to Lieutenant Dan and Hurricane Milton.
Hey, Lieutenant Dan's got to swim to get them, too.
Oh, one-legged Lieutenant Dan.
Y'all
I
each got a
went
dub to
I
hold
went
on
back
to.
and forth on this one, and I think Texas wins and fairly comfortable, but I think Oklahoma will hold them a little bit. New court, yours coming back in. Timing might take him a quarter, a half to get things going good. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to stay kind of close.
It'll take him a drive.
He's taking. That's right. That's right, Josh. All right, now we move on to our last pick of the night. The number 2 versus number 3, guys. Probably the biggest game on the schedule. The Ohio State Buckeyes, the number 2 team in the nation at 5-0, 2-0 in that conference, taking on those Oregon Ducks, who are also 5-0, 2-0 in the conference. Man, this has got classic matchup, ESPN Instant Classic written all over it, man. Gabriel leads the way for the Oregon Ducks. He has 1,449 yards, 11 touchdowns, and 3 INTs. With Will Howard for Ohio State, he has over 1,200 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 3 picks. And looky there, leading the rushing for Ohio State is former Ole Miss Rebel Quinshon Judkins. 468 yards and 5 touchdowns. James leads the way for the Ducks at 552 and 5 touchdowns. Matchup predictor shows Ohio State 64.2. The Ducks 35.8. This game is in Eugene, where Ohio State favored by 3.5. The over and under is 55.5. Wow. I'm going to take the Oregon Ducks in an upset. Give me my 3.5, and I'm going to take the over as well. Go Ducks.
Well, they definitely got the wrong team favored again. And Ryan Day is just James Franklin 2.0. He can't win a big game. His last few years, he's shown it. I'm gonna take the Oregon. I'll take the 3.5. And I'm gonna take the under as well.
The under. Mark took the over.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Under.
I took the over. Yeah.
You took over, Mark?
Yeah.
My bad. I want the under.
Okay.
Oh, I hate to do this. I really do. I'm gonna go with Ohio State minus 3.5, and like the show would say, take the over.
We're about to see if Ohio State players earn that $20 million they spent in NIL this weekend. But I'm taking the Buckeyes minus 3.5 and give me the over.
Man, we're all gonna be different on this thing here. This is gonna be a good game.
Yeah,
At least
for sure.
hopefully will be. I think it's gonna be a fight. And I mean, hey, it's a potential battle of Big Ten champions right here. So, but I'm sticking with Ohio State. I think Ohio State's going to pull this out. I think they're going to cover it, but I think it's going to be a pretty defensive battle at the end. And give me the under.
Hey, Josh, let me ask you about that. Does Big 12 or Big 10, excuse me, do they still got divisions? So these two teams, could they play again?
There's no division.
There's no division.
Top two.
No division, so they did away with them like SEC.
Yeah.
So top 2 teams.
Yes.
So
Could it
I
be
figure
these two guys?
Nebraska and the winner of this game is what I'm predicting.
I gotcha. Nebraska must have an easy schedule the rest of the way.
Do they play
No,
inter-squad scrimmages?
Ohio State
play
will
this-
whoop their ass in 3 weeks.
They play the School of the Blind and who else?
Hey, they got Indiana next
Miss-
week.
Mississippi
Oh,
County.
Indiana. That'll
play-
be Mississippi County. The Suns from Blytheville.
Lincoln High School.
Lincoln High School.
Lincoln High.
Go ahead, Dougie.
Well, welcome to the Big Ten, Oregon. But you know what? Welcome to Eugene, Oregon, Ohio State. You're going out west. You're going out there in Field Night territory, Nike territory. Man, they got no telling what kind of uniforms they might break out for this game. They can change uniforms every day if they wanted to because they got the money out there. I think Oregon is going to surprise some people. I think they're going to pull it together. I think they're going to win this game. So give me Oregon. They got the wrong team favored, Vegas. Give me the home dog and give me the over 55.5.
Doug, that's the first smart thing you said all night.
Oregon in the over. Well, that's not the only first, but there's one of them.
Hey, you didn't give us your lock of the week.
I'm fixing to give it to you here on the wild card.
Oh, that's right. We got a wild card pick this week, guys.
Mark, I
Well-
have a question. What is the spread got to be for the wild card? What's the minimum?
You go ESPN.
No, what would we say? Like, it has to be 20 and under, right?
Yeah.
Shit.
I mean, you can't pick a cupcake.
Yeah, that's right. Where'd Eddie go? Eddie said, "Fuck it, I'm out of here."
Yeah.
Look,
It's not-
Randy Moss. Where's Randy Moss in that wild card pick?
Yeah,
He said, I gotta hurry up and go make one.
Well, he's a
I'm-
loser, so he can't pick up these 5-10 points if he gets it. So.
Hey, perfect score, you get 10 points. So you got 5 bonus points. That's right. All right, so I'm starting it off here. My wild card is the Memphis Tigers over to South Florida. Memphis favored by 6, so -6. And I'm going to take the under of 60.5, over and under 60.5. So give me Memphis -6 and the under a final score of 32-14.
Woo!
Hmm.
No chance. Hell.
No, I don't figure that either, but you never know on those.
That game is to be played in Tampa, Florida, Saturday at 2:30, right? Or when did they move it? Where did they move it? When's it going to be played?
Hey,
Y'all
did they
y'all
cancel
told me
that
they
game, y'all?
I was gonna say that's the last I heard today that the AAC commented that it was gonna be canceled till October 12th. 19th.
Man, that's 10 days.
But I don't know if that's true or not either.
We're holding your pick.
Hold my pick. By golly, I got to get another wild card. Y'all go ahead.
All right, so Virginia and Louisville are playing each other.
I looked at that one.
I did. And it's the only one I can see that might make some sense. So I'm going to take Virginia in the 7.5. And I'm going to take the under of 54.5.
Okay, what's the over-under?
54.5.
You're taking the under,
Yes, sir.
and you're taking Virginia's got how many?
7.5.
Well, 7.5. What's your score prediction?
You got to do that too?
That's an extra.
You don't have to, but you get an extra 5.
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
28-20.
That's over.
That's under 54.5, Matt Major. No more Miller Lite for you.
I had to.
I know.
Coach, you got one? Or Johnny?
Oh,
Johnny.
yeah. Oh, it's my turn? Okay. I'm going to go ULM. That's Monroe. Used to be the Indians, but now they're like Warhawks or some bullshit. Somebody got their feelings hurt. They used to be the Indians. To me, they're still the Indians,
White people got their feelings hurt. White liberals.
I guess.
Political shit.
Yeah. Versus Southern Miss. Monroe, they're favored by 6.5. I'm gonna take that because they're 4-1, and I think Southern Miss is 1-4 this year. And the over and under is 41.5. I'm gonna go with the under. And the final score 21-10. Monroe,
Got you,
the Indians.
broke down.
Man, I took mine for Josh. We know he likes Beavers, so I'm gonna take those Oregon State Beavers
Attaboy.
to cover 4 on the road over Nevada. I'm also gonna take the over of 48.5. Give me 31-20 as the score.
All right. Well, I went out and found myself a trap game. All right. And if y'all, and I found one.
Damn.
This is going to be my lock of the lockiest locks. All right. A few weeks back, I said something about Miami of Ohio and how horrible they are. Well, this weekend, they're playing Eastern Michigan, and Miami of Ohio is favored by 3.5 points with over-under of 43.5. Eastern Michigan is 5-1 on the year, and Miami, Ohio is 1-5. Miami, Ohio is averaging 13 points a game. They're going to score more than 13 points a game this game, but they ain't going to win. I'm taking Eastern Michigan to win, and I got way over the 43.5, and my final score is going to be 35-20. Eastern Michigan over Miami, Ohio.
JB,
I got you.
that's at Eastern Michigan too, isn't it?
Yeah.
I almost picked that one because I can't figure that shit out. I didn't know if a bunch of people.
If you can figure it out, let me know.
Yeah.
What does Vegas know that we don't know?
Yeah.
And that's why I said I gave myself a trap. I gave myself a trap game.
Right. All righty. Well, I got one for you. It's a lock of the week. I'm going with a little bigger recognition game. I've got Florida playing Tennessee this week. Tennessee coming off their loss. They got a little bit exposed. Florida's been playing a lot better ball lately, scoring some more points. But I've got Tennessee is favored by 15.5 according to ESPN. What is it? I got.
Watch it. Go ahead.
Okay, I got. Okay, Tennessee's favored by 15.5. The over/under is 55.5. I'm going to take Florida. Florida's playing a lot better ball. Napier down there is fighting for his job. His players playing better. Florida's going to go in there and battle with them. This is always a good battle. It's a rivalry game. Florida won't win, but they'll stay within that 15.5. So give me Florida to stay within the 15.5 plus 15.5. Give me the under. I got the score 24 Tennessee, 21 Florida. Good game here, y'all. SEC battle.
What's the number on it on the under over?
It's 55.5. I got the under 24-21. Tennessee beats Florida. Barely.
All right, so I went back since my game was canceled. I went back and looked. I'm going to take UNLV over Utah State.
Man, I looked at that one.
I did too.
Sure did too.
The spread is 18, minus 18 for UNLV.
Yep.
Over and under is 64.5. I'm going to take UNLV and the over. Final score 62-24. The running Rebels are going to run all over Utah State.
Oh, Tart the Shark, baby.
Woo!
Wow.
Larry Johnson and Stacey Augman will be in the house.
Man, Anderson Hunt.
Hey, going to be raining
Gerald
threes,
Patio.
baby. Larry Johnson's going to be dunking them and everything.
Do y'all remember Gerald Patio? Because he was shooting
Yes.
back, man. He was shooting them before there was a 3-point line. Then when they brought that 3-point line in was his senior year, ball just knocking stuff down from
Yeah. He was a key off guard for that team.
Yeah, Patio. I used to do that in high school when I'd hit a 3 during the game. Patio.
Hey, I'm tell you what, we were out playing basketball the other day. Kids are all yelling, Kobe, Kobe. I shot the ball up and I said, Kurt Cobain. And they said, no, it's Kobe. I said, no, Kurt Cobain didn't miss his shot.
Yeah, he sure did.
He didn't miss a shot, did he?
No, he didn't.
See you in hell, JB.
It did Kurt Cobain.
See you in hell, JB.
Hey, I'll be there waiting for you, brother.
All right, guys, man, that's going to wrap up our I'll Take the Over podcast. Any parting shots? Let's hope we all do better this week than we did last week.
All I got to say is go Tigers. Let's beat them low mess rebels.
Let's hope that
Hey.
main train keeps trucking, baby.
It is.
Don't-
It's trucking on to Gainesville. It's already checked out.
Don't trap me, Eastern Michigan. Kurt Cobain.
Big Balls, you got anything?
Nah, I'm good, but
He's good. All right. That's going to wrap it up for I'll Take the Over podcast on the Boot Hill Sports Network. Hey, join us tomorrow night as we have the Battle of the Boot Hill, the Crooksville Tigers. That's Friday night, Crooksville Tigers and the Hayti Indians on the Boot Hill Sports Network. We will have a high school podcast tomorrow night, the Cover 3 with Chris Brown, Josh's uncle Chris, that is,
My boy.
myself, and Jeremy Abrams, the voice of the Crooksville Tigers. So join us in. Until then, this is Mark Malley, and that is the CMO 6 saying good night.